Hi, my name is Alan, State Manager with the ESBA, the Emergency Services Benefit Association. We work with emergency responders nationwide. Now, we do what we do because, unfortunately, in our experience, we've come across many times where an emergency responder or their families have been denied the benefits that were due them in the event of their death or an illness or injury from on-the-job activities. Many times red tape or bureaucratic nonsense is used to deny these men and women the benefits that are rightly due them. We saw this first example way back with the 9/11 attacks, where many of the families who were expecting to get a check with the death benefits, instead, many of them got legal notices saying why they weren't going to be paid. Exclusions that still exist, unfortunately, in many for-profit life insurance companies. And the other part that makes things like 9/11 a triple tragedy is we've now lost more emergency responders from the illnesses and exposure at ground zero than we did the day the towers actually fell. And unfortunately, that number is only going to rise. The thing about that is that many of those men and women went home feeling physically fine. And a few years later, things started to show up. And unfortunately, in many cases, even if they had life insurance, it doesn't do anything for you while you're alive. In fact, the problem is whether it's an exposure or something like that or another kind of medical illness caused by on or off the duty, over 60% of the bankruptcies worldwide are due to a medical emergency that turns into a financial emergency. And once again, we've seen many different cities, states, or townships play kick the can when it comes to benefits. If an emergency responder becomes sick, they'll claim not it, and unfortunately use that process to delay those benefits to the family that are rightfully theirs. Once again, we work for you. We are not an insurance company. We have some premium partners that make sure that we have protection that is exclusively designed for our emergency responders. And that is to make sure that you guys have a rock solid death benefit that's going to pay in the event of a death. Or if you live and become sick, things like cancer, stroke, heart attack, severe burns, or anything else that would limit you or partially disable you for 90 days or more, where you need assistance doing 2 out of your 6 what they call activities of daily living. Now, the key thing about this that prevents that kick the can thing from happening is just like our death benefit is 24/7 on and off duty, so is our living benefit. This gives people access up to 80 or 90% of their policy's value to use as money while they're alive, even if they're going to survive the illness or injury. That money goes directly to that family in need and gives them the ability to be their own bank in a time of crisis. So at the ESBA, we've designed our program to serve the agencies with a minimal impact on day-to-day operations. We're not going to follow up, knock on doors, or market to the emergency responders in the agency. We're going to make sure that they know what's available, and if it's important for them, we're going to be able to execute with them. We've made that possible in many different avenues. And of course, we want to make sure that they understand what is available and how to execute that if that is important. Now, we use the proceeds from our partnership with these carriers to fund a $5,000 benefit that is of no cost to the organization, and that's good for 1 year in the event of a death or dismemberment. That emergency responder's family or themselves would receive $5,000, courtesy of the ESBA and our partners. We want to make sure that that funding gets to your agency. So, if this is something that would be important for you and your agency or the men and women under your command, we encourage you to reach out to us at the email address below or to schedule a time with one of our coordinators. Thank you.